Welcome back to Open Line, talking about medical malpractice, something that happens all too often. Happy to have with us medical malpractice attorney Clint Kelly. Third leading cause of death, medical malpractice. Kind of a stunning statistic. Let's go to Rose here. Hello, Rose. Rosa?
Yes,
Rosa, hello. Go right ahead.
I have a question about if someone has surgery for colon operation, emergency colon, and then a few months later another colon operation, and then a year and a half later one hernia comes up and then two more hernias.
What is it that, Rosa, you think happened that was wrong?
I think maybe the way the intestinal tract might have been put back in the second operation might have given rise to hernias.
Have the hernias been treated properly?
I haven't had more surgery for the hernias yet.
All right. Hernias are a known complication, known risk associated with colon surgery. There are a variety of reasons why someone would have colon surgery. The question inevitably in these cases is, did the doctor follow the standard practice in performing the surgery, and did the doctor recognize a defect in the wall of the colon? If you think of a hernia is like, Ben, if you imagine it's like a garden hose being bent and going through the hole of the colon or a hole of the intestines, it sticks out like this, and because of that, you can, when I say out of the intestines, out of the muscle wall, because of that, you can have a blockage of food going through the intestines, and it can be deadly. I mean, you can have what they call small bowel obstruction. That can kill you. So you have to be very careful with hernias. They can be treated, and typically they're treated with great success. The question is, does Rosa have the ability to get good care, and will she be able to have care without any future consequences or complications? It's likely she will. But in answer to the question is that probably no doubt the hernia is caused by the two surgeries.
And so how does she begin the process? What should she do? Should she, come in with her records and meet with, somebody like you, or what do you do there?
Well, this is if she had called me, what I would say first of all is you're still treating and you need to reach maximum medical improvement. That's the first thing. And then the second thing I'd want to know is, are you going to go get a second opinion, or are you still going back to the same surgeon, and what is that surgeon's prognosis for you? Hopefully she'll make a complete recovery, and then it'll be a situation where there's no lawsuit that's needed.
Right. Okay. All right, Rosa, thank you. Interesting. Let's go to Marvin. Hello, Marvin.
How you doing?
Go right ahead.
I had a knee replacement, 2 knee replacements 5 years ago. And here lately I've been collecting fluid on one knee. And I went to my primary doctor, and he tells me, send me back to the doctor to put the knees in. Now, I went to him 3 times, and he draw fluid off of it, but he can't tell me why it's collecting fluid. So I went to another doctor in the same network. He tells me he can't tell me why the knee is collecting fluid. So I go to a sports doctor. He takes x-rays. He tells me he can't tell me why. Everybody wants to send me back to the doctor, but each time I go, it costs me $40 a month. So I don't know what to do, but the last doctor I went to, I took 2 x-rays from the other doctors. They lost my x-rays. So I had to go back to and take x-rays again from the doctors I've been to.
Okay.
There's 2 things that may be going on with Marvin. First of all, one question I'd have is if anyone has told him or hinted to him that the implant is failing. And the second thing I'd want to know is the fluid collection, is it imperiling this piece of hardware such that he would have to have it replaced? Ben, I've seen so many knee replacement cases gone bad, and particularly in the last 3 years. I bet I get one once a week.
Wow.
Sometimes 3 or 4 a week. It's typically infection, or it's the wrong size, or put in the wrong place. And when I mean by wrong place, I mean it's not situated properly on the bones. And Usually there's a fix for it. You can have another knee replacement, but it's never going to be as good as what that first knee replacement could have been if it were done properly. And I'm seeing this over and over again. I cannot tell you the reason why. I don't know what the problem is, because most of these are done by orthopedic surgeons who have good reputations, but these have been failing. I do know that we had a whole lot of litigation against the manufacturers of knees and hips, particularly Dupuis is a manufacturer, and they were making defective parts that were being put in bodies, and they were having to be removed and replaced, and so that was a cause for some of them as well. So Marvin is one of many people who are continuing to have problems with implants.
And you said the number one issue is a misdiagnosis. Mm-hmm. What we have here is, I agree, so many people get knee replacements. Is that something we're seeing a lot of suits, or is that not an area that rises to the level of some of the suits nowadays?
It's the latter. You're right about that. There are limited damage cases, and the reason that's important, at least from my perspective, is it can cost $60,000 or $70,000 to get these cases to trial, and if the amount of damages are anywhere in the $100,000 to $200,000 range, it's just difficult to justify the economics of bringing that kind of lawsuit. Plus, there is the prospect that there could be another replacement that will at least reduce the amount of problems that the person's going to have. But it makes me wonder, when a doctor passes a patient around like Marvin from one doctor to the next, basically what they're saying, Ben, is, I won't touch it.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, let's go to Liz. Hello, Liz.
Hi, yes.
Go right ahead.
I've got a question. My mother's been under the same primary care doctor for 20-some years, and all of a sudden she got sick, and I wound up taking her to the emergency room at a local hospital. She left that hospital with a diagnosis that she had cancer throughout her body. Her primary care doctor never told us this. We did labs, we did x-rays, nothing, and I'm devastated. And, you know, my mother trusted this doctor, we stuck with her, and now here we are. I'm without a mother and just lost. I don't know whether I want to sue her or just beat her up.
Well, we have this civil justice system, Ben, so that people don't take to the streets or go hunt down the doctor and kill them. That's the reason why we have a legal system, is to take care of that. I understand the frustration from Liz that it can bring people to a fit of anger that is very difficult to overcome in a situation like this. But the question I would have for Liz is, first of all, when was the discovery made that her mother had cancer? That's very important, because the statute of limitations would begin to run from that point. The second question I would have is, when was the cancer detectable? She may not know that. The doctor who made the diagnosis may not tell her that right now, but that is a crucial item to discover, to determine whether or not, had Liz's mother been informed of cancer earlier, whether the problems that she's having from that, whether she's going to be terminal or whether she's going to have a long and expensive recovery, whether all that could have been prevented.
Yeah, and that's interesting. You trust your primary care physician, you're going there for checkups, you're hoping they would catch something like cancer throughout your whole body.
Correct.
And then they don't.
Correct. I mean, I go for annual medical checkups, and you know, we always have that check for prostate. I mean, that's the first thing that they want to check for, is to make sure you're not getting prostate cancer. And so you trust your primary care doctor to be on the lookout for those things, and when it's missed, I can truly understand where Liz is coming from, how angry they can make you.
Okay, let's go to Robert. Hello, Robert.
Hello.
Hi, go right ahead.
Well, I'm probably under the statute of limitations too, but I've been curious ever since. I had an operation for prostate. The doctor that operated on me cut me open, sewed me back up, and brought me back to the room and told me that he couldn't do it. He said that I was too fat, which he knew that to start with. He's afraid I'd have a heart attack. He's afraid I'd hemorrhage. And then he said my pelvis was too small. So that was a kicker to me. I've heard of women having problems with babies on that account, but it's the first time I'd ever heard of a man having a problem.
Right. Well, so what happened? Have you gotten any treatment, or now they're just saying you can't be treated?
Oh, I went through radiation and been on shots for 5 years now.
like I said, it just bugged me about the situation and everything. I didn't try to do anything about it at the time, and still probably wouldn't, but I was just curious about what would be his liability on.
Okay.
Well, I think Robert accurately diagnosed the issue is that it sounds like it's been 5 years since this happened, so the statute of limitations would likely bar his claim. You know, I hear things like this where a doctor will do something screwy like this, and I don't have explanations for that, Ben. It just, sometimes you wonder, where's the bedside manner? Why isn't the surgeon sitting down and explaining to Robert, look, here's the situation, here's what I'm going to do for you, I'm going to refer you to someone else who can take good care of you, or maybe they'll feel more comfortable doing the surgery. But just to kind of whisk somebody off like that is, people deserve better than that nowadays.
Right. Okay, Robert, thank you. That's interesting, and that leads to a whole other area for discussion. All right, we're going to take a break, come back, get to your phone calls, take a break, be back right after this.